Hello everyone, welcome. Well, I rechecked the poll and basically, got some proper answers. So after a while, I decided that the most votes was a 4-on-3. 4 votes for Huggy Wuggy Deku and 3 votes for What If Deku Saved the Villains. But don't worry, if any of you still wanted to do What If Deku Saved the Villains, do not worry, because I have considered an option that will probably increase one of my series for a while. This is a new series that's probably going to come out either today or tomorrow, probably on Wednesday. But still, yeah. This is going to be Requiem World Deku, basically. Or, usually, people say, oh, what if Deku was, had the world? What if Deku had a stand? What if, Deku had this and JoJo and whatnot? Yeah, no. Deku's going to be the child of Dio, meaning that, yes, Giorno is going to have a brother. As, of course, though, I will explain everything in that video. Since, that video isn't this video, let's get on with this beginning, you can say. Now, we go to the beginning. Psych, I lied. You thought I was going to do origin. I'm going straight to the point. Midoriya would be with a girl. Or more lines, Midoriya's appearance would be of a toy's appearance. Very small, about 1 foot tall. Not very tall for a person. But ever since his mother threw him out, he kind of gave up on life. In more lines, until he was kind of in an alleyway near trash. Some people picked him up and basically gave him to their daughter. Yeah. Toy Story flashbacks, anyways. We go to Midoriya now, sleeping with this child. If you're wondering what Midoriya is right now, he's a normal toy, or more lines, had a toy quirk, kind of got bootlegged, or more like kicked out by his parents. Parents kind of, since he couldn't really do anything to defend himself, they kind of just threw him in the streets. Since, this man's like 5 inches tall. Who knows how big a plush is? I don't know how big a plush is, but basically, it's basically a teddy bear size. So yeah, kind of just got thrown. And yeah, Midoriya kind of got picked up by some random people. They cleaned him up, gave him to their daughter, and yeah, that's where we are. Midoriya would feel a sense of happiness from this person. The hug that would be gained from her was happiness, the emotion of happiness, one he could have never felt. Bakugo would always kind of toss him aside, playing dodgeball with him and his friends, using Deku as, the ball. Or more lines, volleyball, throwing Midoriya above and over, the volleyball net. Midoriya would be sad at this moment in life until, we go back to, present time. He would feel this girl's hug, giving him a meaning to life. A meaning to what it is to be what he is. No one wanted him, but when he felt the warmth of a hug, he stayed. He felt happy there. He never needed to eat. He never needed to watch anything. He was happy what he had. That was a bond between a person and their toy. That sounded wrong. Rephrase that. Basically a pet. So their pet and the owner and their pet basically. Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds a lot more better. Anyways, yeah. Deku's basically the dog, and the girl's basically the owner. So yeah. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue on. Midoriya would be very kind. On more lines, he would whisper things since, he has very low, vocal cords. He would only be able to tell whispers. Since, they would get along very well. Of course, until he came in. We go to Midoriya sleeping with the child, being happy, as he is. He has a purpose to make others happy, or more lines, his, I guess, owner happy? Yeah. Anyways, he would notice that there would be a knock at the door. The door would be opened by the wife, and the husband would have brought a giant teddy bear. Or not, because there wouldn't be a teddy bear, but he would see a giant box within the man's hands. And realistically, he would kind of just, sleep, I guess, since he technically... I guess he goes to shut down. I don't know how it works, but just say he goes to sleep. As when he wakes up, he would see himself outside in the rain. Where am I? I can't remember. Oh, hi. I'm Poppy. Nice to meet you. Would you like to come with me? No, I have an owner. Basically Toy Story, but it's gonna get very gruesome. Yeah, very shortly. So, he would rudely reject the offer and walk back to his house, or more lines, where his owner's at, as he would go and just walk, and since the front door was locked, he would climb the side of the building to the girl's window. As he would finally be there, he would notice that the girl isn't in her bed, and see that her door is very wide open. As he would see in the living room, where the father would give her a giant, jumbo-sized stuffed bear, she would be looking happy. Very. As the eyes of Midoriya would be filled with sadness, betrayal, anger, but mostly sadness and sorrow. But I'm right here. Why does she need another toy for? I can make her happy all by myself. As he would slip and fall, and inevitably land back on the ground. But since he technically has no bones, he would just kind of just get back up. Why? As the sadness of depression would take over once more. And there'll be Poppy once more. I'm sorry. As two men would appear on the side. Or not on the side, wait, sorry, going a bit too fast forward, but Midori will be walking through town and see a place called Poppy Playtime. He would, since it has basically him in the, just a giant version of him and the cover, he would just walk in as there be Poppy and, two men beside her, as they basically take Midori away for experiments, you could say. They will take out Midori's heart and implant it into a giant version of, himself. These experiments were, done by no other than, the same doctor that, worked on All for One. Creating Huggy Wuggy. Midoriya forgot his name over the years he spent time with the girl. He forgot his name, his mother's name. He forgot he even had a family. All that remained was hatred and hunger for violence. He hated the fact that he was forgotten. He hated every single bit of it. Bakugo, Kachan, bullied him, was never a true friend. Bakugo made him a promise that he would be a friend towards the end. Same with the girl, but they both betrayed him in the end. One for volleyball, and the other out of betrayal. Replacement. Midoriya's years would fade as he would entertain children, and this rage would build up within him. The madness that is the human brain can only take so much. Midoriya's small, toy-like brain would be basically everything transplanted into the small toy that was originally him was, basically transplanted into, a bigger version of him. The madness that is the human brain, the experiments, the betrayal, the anger, the hatred, the sadness, the depression, it all was too much for the boy. The small young boy that thought that his quirk was a curse. But slowly that people knew. The quirk he once had was no longer a quirk, but was an actual reality. Real. At this point. As you see, over the years of about 5 years, in total there'll be 15 years. 5 years. Hold up. Let me get some timing real quick. Okay, so 5 years, nah, because he wouldn't really spend that much time, so give or take a couple of days with his parents. More lines. Actually, no, because Bakugo's still a thing. So say, give or take, 5 years with his parents. Even so, they only wanted him to see what type of quirk he would get, so yeah. So 5 years with Bakugo Betrayal. Another 5 years for the girl. And another 5 years for the experiment process and basically becoming a giant version of Huggy Wuggy. Or more lines, as you see in the front, a human version of Huggy Wuggy. Now we go to the 10th year, or more lines all the way to 11th year. This will be the experimental stage, as they would experiment on Midoriya and basically transfer his consciousness and everything that was inside the doll that made him alive into a bigger version, immediately causing some permanent mental damage to him. And as the experiments and, him entertaining children after basically being betrayed as, still a child, he would feel he wouldn't care for children. He's good with them, very, very, very well, very, very, very well good with them, but doesn't care for them. Of course, though, as the factory of Poppy Playtime, in the place of Poppy Playtime, would, over the years, slowly shut down, being the only thing living in the entire place, besides the janitor once a month, and basically the owner that only comes in to check the money that is stored here. Until someone broke in. This would be the same girl that Midoriya would have spent time with for 5 years when he was 10. 5 to 10. He would feel... Realistically, he would be in madness at this point, since he had to have through all that other mental stuff, not just that, but experiments as well. Would basically draw him to insanity. As you know how the Poppy Playtime game works, so yeah, we all know what happens to him. As you know, he chases down the girl. As you know, the girl with the two hands, slingshot hands, basically, drops the box on him. And yeah, right as the midway drop, the girl realizes who this was. A friend of hers. If not, best friend. As he would fall, the pipes, he would fall, smashing into some pipes and bleeding. And inevitably smashing, straight forward, or more lines on the back of, the floor. Midoriya would feel anger. But he would come back to his senses as his human emotions, would have returned to him. The insanity, the monster that was once him, was gone, and he can now feel his emotions once more. But the only difference is that his memories were gone. All of them. Bakugo, mother, father, Hisashi, Mitsuki, Bakugo, the goon, school. Except for knowledge, because I feel like knowledge is the thing he'll just have. But yeah, any type of person or reaction or action he would have towards a person or personal item would be gone. Memories wiped from the multiple hits of pipes. He kind of, give or take, if you've seen, where was it? What movie was it? He basically hit every pipe on the way down. There's like 100 pipes. So yeah, he got a concussion, basically. Concussion. Oh, by the way, he's like 8 feet tall, just so you know. He's pretty flippin' tall. Yeah. Anyways, let's get down with this. Midoriya would be in a box, and somewhere, trash probably. He would be in a box, seeing nothing but a bright light. And he would feel very uncomfortability. As, he would try to open himself and basically rip open, the box. Where am I? As all he would see around himself would be trash. This trash would have, many insects on it. As he would just start moving out of the box. And thankfully, he was near the front of the Deku Beach. Or more lines, was on Deku Beach. He opened his box, seeing water of dirt. His brightness, all negativity was forgotten, as only leaving the positive aspects of his personality, you can say. Cleaning up the beach in a matter of months, if not. He's pretty strong since I'm giving him a My Hero Academia boost, so he's pretty strong. So give or take 3 months, I'll say. About 3 to 5, because I don't think he'll actually take 8 months, knowing his strength and his long, he's basically able to lift more than Ken and Deku by like 5 times. So he'll probably take this either in 3 months or in 5 months, basically. I see. Also, if you're wondering, his power is relatable to, I'll say, manga 10%, One for All. So yeah, he's pretty flippin' powerful. Yeah. But I mean, not that powerful, but still pretty powerful in his own right, so yeah. As over the time, he would relax and just lay there on the sand. Laying there as nothing would be there. If it wasn't for his looks, people would probably assume he's in his 20s, or, late teens, 18 to 20s. But surely do they not know he's actually 15? He, in a very weird, place. He would just stand near Deku Beach, inevitably seeing two people.
Okay, young Togeda. Now, let's see where we can trade.
As All Might would notice, there would be no trash in Deku Beach at all. Yeah. All he would notice is a blue light figure. And what's that?
What's that? Hello, young one. What is your name?
Huh? Oh, hi. I'm, as he would grab his head in pain. And he would just, say Huggy. My name's Huggy. Nice to meet you. As basically the only memories he would gain are like short memories, or if not just glimpses of things. Nothing really important. I'm Huggy. Nice to meet you. As you know, they would talk for a few, and Midoriya would kind of just, I guess, stroll around, just watching them with silence as Mario would train his quirk. And one for all. So peaceful, the sky. The sky is so beautiful in its own right. So calm. Hey, so, wondering, are you gonna go to UA? UA? Question mark. Because remember, any info he knew about, like, Hero Society, kind of knocked out of them, literally, on, like, the 100 pipes way down. So, yeah. His memories of, like, any knowledge about society and anything about negativity or society in general is just, poof, gone. Besides, I say, maybe quirks. Because I feel like the only thing that resigned is, like, Midoriya's, passion about quirks. Also, he knows of them, but to an extent, like a beginner's extent. UA? What's that?
Oh, it's a very civilized hero school, if not the best in Japan.
I see. Maybe. It sounds fun. As you know, Midoriya, listening to Muriel's words, will say, a hero. I mean, I can always bring smiles to people. As he would smile at Mirio. A very, wholesome smile. As basically he would kind of just walk around the city, because... I don't know, I'll say, like, he would just want to explore the society a bit more. So basically, try food, try, looking at quirks and all that other jazz. Basically just a normal human basically entering the world of My Hero, just like wanting to know everything, basically. In a matter of, I'll say, 2 weeks. Because I'll say that was like the 3rd month, so he has a lot of time on his hands. So it's kind of just exploring stuff now. Kind of, exploring and inevitably falls, see some villain attacks, heroes defeating the villains and, everyone's smiling. This is fascinating. It truly is. As you would meet someone. Let's see, who shall it be? I can never be so many people. Midoriya be walking. Very easily. If not, then probably eating a shish kebab, honestly. It makes him feel human, you can say. Eating. As he would just walk and see a person getting mugged. This person would basically, would be in an alleyway, and, out of nowhere, because remember, he doesn't know about vigilantism, so, even though it kind of sounds stupid, but yeah. Midoriya just walking. Hello? Anyone there? Get back, kid, you don't want to get hurt. As this person would have a blade quirk. That's not kind to treat a person. Do you need help, ma'am? Yes, please. As you know, basically, you can say basically throws the dude on the wall, make an indent in the wall, and yeah, girls get her purse and skedaddles. And you can say, we all know what's gonna happen. Yeah, we all know that Cinnamon Roll is gonna stay for Cinnamon Roll forever. As blood will feel, Midoriya would get stabbed. And he would see the blood red, crimson red. He would feel a hunger, or an enjoyment in blood. As within minutes, the villain would be consumed entirely. As Midoriya would wake up and, basically, I'll say be near something equivalent to a McDonald's, probably. Because I'll say Midoriya probably got, like, some sort of McDonald's job. Or, sorry, not McDonald's, like, some, what's a good thing, haha, Hero Knowledge. Why not? Hero HD or something, I don't know. Some sort of, bootleg version of McDonald's in My Hero. So, yeah. He kind of just has it as, like, a side job. To, like, I guess, he has, like, the sign job where, he basically flips the sign, points at McDonald's. So, he gets some cash on him, he ain't poor, but he got that cash on him, somewhat. And since, he doesn't need food and whatnot, he kind of just has it on him, like, at all times, so, yeah. So, in a matter of, like, the rest of the months, basically, he would probably just get a load of money and kind of just stand there, or more lines. Read books or buy books about, like, Hero Society. And, the laws of, like, fundamentals of, like, hero careers and whatnot. Read that and basically just have a book of, like, quirks. So, basically what he had in canon, but basically just think of it as the Necronomicon, but a lot less demonic and more lines has everything upon quirks. Like, scary information about quirks, like, everything about the quirks, even if the person doesn't know, it's themselves, like, basically. So, basically, like, the Google, like, factory of facts about quirks, about everything, basically. So yeah, he kind of just has on, his back pocket. So, entry exam happens. So yeah. He goes there. He doesn't trip because, he's like a 8 foot, like, weighs like what? Probably more than 200 or 100. Pretty heavy dude. Like, he may be tall, but he's also pretty flippin' heavy. Since remember, he's still human, but at the same time, you know, what he consumes, instead of becoming waste, it more lines becomes compressed. It's weird. Like, the physiology of Huggy Wuggy is weird, but basically, every time he consumes someone, it condenses his body. So basically, making his skin very hard in the process. So yeah. Sorry, that is. We go to the next exam, as someone was about to trip, and Midoriya kind of catches them. Hey, don't worry, I got you. Be careful now. You don't want to fall and die. Giving a little smile, and the casual Deku talk, just a bit more. I don't know. It probably weird. It's weird to explain it, but yeah. Midori would basically get the writing portion. I feel like he would ace it, like 100%. Like, not because he's super smart, but because I feel like the stuff they shown him, like the rules. He kind of, if you think about it, kind of basically studied for it without actually knowing that all the stuff he was reading was basically about the tests, and even got all the spelling errors corrected. So yeah. As Midoriya would, kind of just stand there until everyone's done, and gets to the fighting portion, or stands. Okay, all of you young students, heroes, it is now time. Now, when I say go, he explains the 0-pointers, 1-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointers. Of course, Ida still does intervene, I'm disappointed in, my, UA for, not explaining the 0-pointer, blah, blah. And I'll say he'll probably catch, Midoriya just with his eyes closed, just kind of relaxing. Kind of just in, that toy stance, like, just head tilted. Just like that creepy-ass stance, just like head tilted. Probably, like, I guess legs just crossed, like an evil villain or something, just like, then has his eyes closed, just like, And, Ida will probably mistaken it as sleeping, but realistically, Midori doesn't need sleep at all. Like, he's literally, like, his brain, yeah, sleep's non-existent. If he really wanted to, he can probably outbeat Aizawa when it comes to not sleeping. Like, bro. By a long shot, too. So basically, Midori walks up, just looks down at Ida, and like, sorry, but I wasn't sleeping. Now can you please let Aizawa, not Aizawa, sorry, can you please let Prism continue, and sit down? He would say these in cold eyes, like his eyes will feel like you pierced your soul, type of stare. There we go. That wasn't that bad, was it now? Basically, yeah. After that, Midoriya would just, 1, 2, 3. Midoriya would just zoom inside the gate. Because realistically, he don't waste time. Like, unlike other people, he doesn't have things to think about. He has no one, nothing to think about, no place to be. Basically has, like, no problems at all of, like, society and whatnot. So he just zooms. He has, like, no time to waste. He doesn't have, like, that freeze and then go. No. He just immediately just, zooms. Or at least not yet, because, I mean, yeah, of course there's got to be a ship and whatnot, but yeah. That comes later, though, so yeah. Midori would be running, destroying, points by points. You're destroying robots by smacking them with his noodle arms. Basically. Them noodle arms be doing damage to, like, the 3-pointers like nothing. Just kind of smacking robots around, just destroying them. So, yeah, Midori has at least, I think what? To enter UA, I think you have to have, like, 80 points or above to actually enter UA. Or I think it was 90, I think. No, I think it was 80. Either 80 or 90 points to actually enter UA. So I'll say All Might, I think, was 135, I believe. 135, All Might's record, I believe. Wait, no, because hold on. So Araka gave him 60 points, so it would at least have to be in the 200 category. Hold on, like, I think to actually get into UA, you actually have to have, I think, 120, and then anything after 120, 250. Okay, I got it. 120, 250. Got it. So the maximum you can actually guess, I think, 300. I don't know the point ratio. It's been a while since I've done research on the the points and whatnot. But basically, Midori gets, I'll say, let's just say I'm gonna just customize the points unlike Canon. So I'm gonna just say anything above 800 points you pass. Anything below 80 you lose. So yeah. So, I'll say the maximum a person can get in the exam is either 230, I'll say. Like, pretty reasonable, honestly. Because All Might's a thing, so, I mean, he'll probably have, the record of, like, 240 or something. Like, so, yeah. So, I'll say, 80. People get, getting points, but, people mostly, since, half of them are, like, useless quirks. But basically, or not useless, but, aren't made for combat. So, Midori's kind of slapping robots like nothing. It's like no one's business. And, inevitably there's a shake in the ground. Thump. 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 Midori's like, huh? What's that? As he just sees this giant robot, like, cool. Kind of just watches the robot. So, are we supposed to be, like, leaving, or, like, what? Because, realistically, he wasn't paying attention at all to what, President Mike was saying, so, yeah. Huh. And then he just continues destroying robots as, he hears a yell. And immediately just goes into action. Immediately just kind of ripping apart the robot's leg before it can crush the person. Just, ripping apart. Throwing, Actually, I'll say, first, before anything, he'll, help the girl out. Pick up the robot, throw it at the robot's, I'll say, bottom torso to make it go off balance. It would fall backwards. And Midori proceed to kind of go for, like, the dead zone where its weak spot is and just, get it from there, basically. No, because I feel like if it fell back, it would definitely kind of just explode. Like Power Rangers or something. Anyways, yeah, that happens. Let's get to the 2 weeks before it happens. Since Midoriya, I'll say he has an apartment. So, what he would do right now is basically kind of just wait around. After that, he would, get the letter for UA, be happy. Go to UA, open the classroom, sees the door's a bit big, but he's 8 foot, so it's pretty decent. And that's where I end this video. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.